the words of that classic hymn. What a friend we have in Jesus. And I'm glad I have both of my friends in the studio with me, Enimwa Enimado and Raymond Aqua. I'll be saying good morning to them in a moment, but the inspirational song was brought to you by Shell Helix Motor Oils, designed for ultimate engine performance. And the newspaper review is brought to you by Interplast. Wherever you are, we make sure water reaches you even in space. And First Atlantic Bank, refreshingly different. Now, are you tired of using a garden hose to water your lawn every time? Are you tired of your brown lawn? Stay green with InGreen and enjoy 25% discount on all automatic lawn irrigation systems from April to May 2018. Call us now on 0302-819-000. InGreen is another quality solution from Interplast. And with Interplast, wherever you are, we make sure water reaches you, even space. Terms and conditions apply. Now, exciting things are happening on FlexiPay. Buy tickets for Ghana Meets Niger 2018 using FlexiPay and get up to 80% discount. You can also send mobile money across networks, pay utility bills, buy airtime and data, pay tithes, and do so much more on FlexiPay. Download FlexiPay from Google Play or App Store, sign up today and enjoy amazing discounts. Remember, terms and conditions apply. FlexiPay, endless possibilities. And good morning, lady and gentlemen.
Good morning.
How we doing this morning?
Good,
yes, I'm
good,
doing great.
good.
Okay.
Yes.
Anyway, you don't sound so sure.
Oh, no, I was checking to see whether Raymond was fine.
Oh, that's very caring of you.
Yes,
I
very,
should
very,
say.
very. Good morning, Raymond.
Good morning, by God's grace, as you can see, I'm as fit as fiddle.
Let's see if the Today newspaper has anything new.
Okay, so and that today, chaos in NPP over Anas number 12 expose. Rawlings descends on media. Now that's a very interesting story. Suhum Boyle's NDC MCE fight over development projects.
Now, the Daily Guide is reporting this morning, NDC grabs $8 million from Nyantechi's friend for Mahama 2016 campaign, and soldiers arrested for kidnapping. Stop bleaching. Rawlings jabs Anita Disoso, and BEC takes off. It's also on the front page of the Daily Guide.
In the Ghanaian Times, Newmont Conta fined $2.7 million for death of 6 and injury to 4 workers. BC students face in limbo after principal failed to register them for exams, and mixed reactions greet transport fare increases.
The Chronicle is reporting this morning, forgivers are trespassers. NDC bigwigs begs Rawlings, and that's related to that story. But Juford, when the apostle of probity lines his pockets. This is a very nice article in the Chronicle from a book answer. Good old the book answer.
And in the New Crusading Guide, elsewhere, Anas will be killed. That's from Kennedy Ajapon. And Majority Leader punches Kennedy Ajapon over Anas and dares him to prove allegation.
The Daily Heritage is reporting this morning, we will support government with jobs. This is from the Lotto operators. And also, no malice is intended against University of Education. But this is from the Amnesty International. You and her very good self, you are too money conscious. Medical doctor observes calls for checkups and should be conscious about your health.
No,
too.
did he say my name?
No,
Raymond.
he said-
Raymond. Did he mention my
I'm
name?
shocked.
So we are too money conscious.
He and who are too money conscious? You, Raymond Aqua, you are too money conscious.
In the Daily Statesman, President proposes new look at Ghana's criminal law. And concerning the Ghana car deal, I acted with the utmost integrity, and that is from Ken Atefa.
Yes, Kanatefa is also on the finance front page, and it's talking about, at last, the issuance began yesterday from the Jubilee House. At long last, the battle has ended.
The battle has ended.
Anyway, now also on the front page of the paper, World Bank approves $50 million for agri sector, and mining audit is in the offing, actually, according to Amewu.
In the graphic business, Islamic banking gathers dust. Regulatory framework is still absent, and bankers see lower interest rates. Ghana reference rate is now at 16.9%.
Inflation surely might be going down, but not public debt. Rise in public debt is stifling growth. This according to a World Bank study for the Sub-Saharan region, and also stability on the front of all the important parts will solve a lot of our problems. These are the stories that the BNFT is representing this morning. And also, feed-in tariff to encourage use of solar power. Implement it immediately.
All right, Raymond, you have the Daily Graphic?
Yes, the Daily Graphic is my very last one. It says, hope for kidney patients, free transplant at Kolebu from September. And the other story on the front page is Chief Justice should be fair. Political parties demand over EC investigations. You know that matter, right? It's still hanging in there. Even though we may be having a referendum anytime soon about where regions are supposed to be created. Anyway, but the very last story you should be interested in is Newmont DRA to pay $2.5 million fine over a Ahafo accident. That's on the front page of the paper too.
Raymond, let's just start there. The Newmont story.
We should go from Newmont, right?
Yes, let's.
So we know that a couple of months ago there was this big accident. I mean, it's just a little over a month anyway. But the indication was that we lost lives, and this was the building of one virtually like a runway that leads to where the mining is supposed to be. The Minister for Lands and Natural Resources set up a team. The team was supposed to not only probe the accident, but give recommendations on the way forward. The team has come out to say that Newmont and the grouping called DRA that did the construction, and also subletted that to another grouping, did so much wrong in the process.
What did they do wrong?
Okay, so first, the establishment of the process for determining who gets to work there. They had a problem with that. Indeed, they said that the subletting should have gone through a process which is identified by the Minerals and Mining Act, which they didn't follow. Secondly, the recruitment also left out some very qualified people who should have checked and cross-checked the procedures before it was started, and that it was done. Maybe not deliberately, but with the intent to put lives at risk in this particular case. So that is what the ministry established. The committee then recommended that they pay some fines according to the Minerals and Mining Act, which it started at $2.5 million. They also have some form of, not ban, but they have some form of penalties they are supposed to pay. So they are not the kind of people that you go to first hand for any of the projects coming anytime soon because of their current status.
Yeah.
Yes. Two, before any other agency gets to recruit them for a mining job like this, they have to go to a more stringent procedure. i.e., if they go through public procurement like any other institution, their standards to prove that they can do the job will be way higher than other groupings too.
Right.
Generally, they are reviewing the procedure for recruiting institutions to do the job. Indeed, the local content policy is still in existence, but the minister is insisting that that will not in any way supersede the quality, competence, and the efficiency standards that are supposed to be ensured in the sector. This is all because we've lost a lot of people in the process. Let's start from 2010. From 2010 to 2018, as well as there, we have 274 people who have died, not in any of these illegal mining sectors, or they're caving in on some of these not so reasonable mining ends, but the proper supposed to be construed, be it small scale or large scale mining areas.
274.
Yes, and that's where,
unacceptable.
Yes, that's where the danger is in this particular case. So mining safety is very important.
Exactly.
I want to believe that the people who have the intent of ensuring the highest standards are followed, but there is also the risk, which if not minimized, with right machinery, with the right people, and also recruitment that actually focuses more on the strength of the people in this particular case. And the interesting part is that most of the people who die in this case are indigenous of the societies that the mining firms are in there. And people are believed not to have been the huge beneficiaries of the largesse that comes out of mining. But the way forward we have determined is, apart from, we also, they said that they are reviewing. You know, most of the reviews take some time. We are reviewing the mining regime in a way that will make not only safety, but who gets to be recruited also require the standards that's required. Still with local content in mind.
Of course. And at what level the local content is put in is also very important.
Yes. You know, recently there was an intervention from the minister's end, right?
Exactly. Because you'll find that even in the awarding of mining contracts, there's a certain threshold beyond which local companies do not go. Yeah. The experts will tell you that local companies do not have that capacity to participate in the business. But like I was telling Hassan Tampuli when we're talking about the oil sector, it's necessary that governments deliberately and stakeholders deliberately build the capacity of the local companies so that they can participate in the high end, because that is where the real money is. That's where the real equity is. It's very interesting to know that the committee actually imposed some $40,000 in fines, and John Peter Mewu himself came to add an extra 2.7 million. It's very, very interesting that he took that stance. Let's see the whip being cracked. Hey, I'm from Mr. Mewu. You know, he's Raymond's good friend.
Yes, I can tell.
Yeah.
How?
because I can tell these things. Anyway, a very, very, very good morning to ex-President Jerry John Rawlings, and
what
also
has
to
Mr. Rawlings been up
Sister
to?
Anita. So you know the thing about interacting with Rawlings is, you remember when we were kids and you're walking on a football park and there are some kids playing football and you don't know, no, bam, the ball has hit your head. That's how it went down yesterday.
Where did the ball come
That's how
from?
it went down yesterday between Rawlings and Anita DeSoso at the 39th. Well, they were celebrating the 39th anniversary of June 4th. So we know that Anita apologized to President Rawlings for the things that have been done against him, and she
On
said,
behalf of the NDC.
on behalf of the NDC, and she said, oh, you are my father and all of that. And then Rawlings comes back, he has that smile on his face which he's had for the last 50 or so years when he's about to cause damage, and says, well, if you are my daughter, then my concern at this point is you're getting fairer by the day. Yes, we weren't expecting it, came out of the blue, slap in the face. Anyway, but the real story there is that he descends on the media and he says that we're not reporting things accurately. He will say something and the next day the story comes out and it's different. And this is the reason why he is not criticizing the NPP. Because when he hears the stories about himself, Amadou, and his wife, which are not true, he cannot take the things that are being said about the NPP as credible. So in other words, please let us report the truth concerning Rawlings, his wife, and Martin Amadou, and then perhaps he will be able to make an informed criticism of the opposition.
I only have one question, Raymond.
Yeah.
So when we reported his comments about Anita DeSoso,
No,
would he
that
be,
one
would
there
he
was
be-
video.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
But the other ones, there are no video.
No,
No,
the
video.
other ones, it wasn't particularly,
You see, in basketball, they say you cannot blame the rim, the air, and all of these things. If you start blaming them, there's a fundamental problem.
Well.
See, Chairman, we know you don't want to say anything about the government. That's fine, but don't blame we the media for it. We
It's
are
our
a
fault.
harmless sort. Everybody
It's our
wants to blame
fault.
the media for their
But
inability
anyway,
to do something.
on the
Please, has
larger
Chairman
scale,
told you he doesn't want to accuse
Really?
government? Has he told you that?
If I check the tones.
on the
Okay.
larger scale, he's
Anyone
also
finish?
advising, women that we should stop using those soaps and things. It's not nice. Let's just be beautiful the way we are. So Rawlings' words, not mine.
All right. So Raymond, the Ghana card has been issued at last.
Yes, we understand that people in the Jubilee House, the official seat of the president, yesterday got their own on a very low tone, because Professor Atifa said that it will come like the second coming of Christ at night. So it did happen. We understand. We understand that the next grouping of people are key influencers. These are former Chief Justice and her spouse, and also former presidents and their spouses who will be given this special treatment. When they move from this particular unit, they will go on to the banking and education sectors. Then the rollout continues. That is why, even though we've wasted 7 out of the 30 days meant for Greater Accra alone, we're still going to meet the deadline, we understand. Now, what's going to happen is that already there are 1,700 registration centers which will be rolled out. Now, there are close to 1,000 mobile vans which are going to augment the registration centers. The 1,000 mobile vans have some 2,500 people running them, and they've recruited some 1,000 field staff which are going to be at the 1,700 registration centers. So the indication is that it will get to your turn and we will serve you as and when we need to do so. Do not move from one region to the other. In fact, your residence and address is key to the registration.
Right.
So do not move and change that, because it will actually mess up the data that we want to keep for a very, very long time.
Well, I mean, I appreciate the Ghana card thing because, it's creating jobs and people who are being recruited to help and stuff are being paid and all of that. But I am still not convinced
That
after the fact about why exactly we're doing this, when we have other forms of identification.
But we need this, don't we? Don't we need a form of identification that's unified so that you don't need to be carrying so many different
But then
cards on you when you're going
our
somewhere?
passport does that, doesn't it? But then again, the argument is kind of moot because it's after the fact. So it's already
now
been
we have
done.
started
Yes.
getting the Ghana
So
cards.
we just
will
hope
come.
that it will be, issued effectively, and hopefully not too many foreigners will be able to get their hands on it.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes, let's hope so too.
Yes.
Anyone move us into that story that we covered yesterday about the transport fares?
Okay, so mixed reaction greets the transport fare increase. We know that transport fares have gone up by 10%. Also, and that's directly corresponding to the fact that fuel has gone up. Now, there have been mixed reactions. Some people expected it. Some people know about it. Some people are not sure about it. All in all, it seems to be an okay kind of feeling out there. What is interesting, though, is that the drivers, most drivers, seem to be happy that the fare has come out at last, because fuel has been increasing for a while, and there hasn't really been an increase since April last year, when it went up by 15%. So that's the general feeling concerning the transport fares.
Great. Raymond, you were telling us about this kidney patient.
Okay, so the Daily Graphic is reporting this morning that there is hope for kidney patients now, because from September, a grouping from Birmingham will be coming down to Ghana to make sure that we all get the surgeries that we need. Kidney transplant is very expensive in other countries, and in Ghana there are 12,000 people with kidney problems as of 2017. So that's how serious the problem is. 60% of these people will require some form of transplant or heavy surgery that these people can do for them, and it's going to happen at Korle Bu. One of the things that we should also know is that kidney is the 9th cause of death in Ghana as of 2017.
Kidney disease.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's where the problem really is. People are not really taking care of their kidneys. Excessive alcohol consumption, smoking, and other things that have actually been predominant kidney diseases in this country are all lifestyle related. So
That's just
take
what
care
I
of
was going to
yourself.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are going to take good care of your kidney too.
Because dialysis is pretty expensive as well,
Yes.
isn't it? Yeah.
So that's for kidney patients. What about mental
Mental
patients?
health patients. So Dr. Akwesi Osei, who is the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Health Authority, has said that the mental health system and patients are in dire need of help. Well, he says that sometimes they're fed with porridge without bread. And the funny thing is, like Raymond was saying, porridge is predominantly carbohydrates. So why do you need bread? But, however, the thing is that the drugs that are administered to the patients require that they be well fed, and so we may make light of it, and stuff like that, but it's very, very, very important. The allocation for the health in the budget, the allocation was 17.4%. Mental health institutions are receiving 2.1% out of the 17.4% of money allocated, and the mental health sector has not received even that. So there is a bit of a mega problem there, because they're also threatening now that they might have to go with the cash and carry system of, buying things as they need, even when they can't afford. So that's the story with mental health. Also speaks to the fact that we don't really take mental health that seriously in Ghana.
Well, a lot of sectors in our healthcare system are suffering now,
But
aren't they?
you see, it's a very high risk sector to the doctors, to the nurses, to
yeah.
the patient themselves, to the people who are family to these patients. That is the more reason why, and
even
it's
to
terrible.
the public when they are not,
In the last 10 years, virtually there's not been a single year that all the amount of money budgeted for that particular institution
has
been given. And it tells you how unserious we are about dealing with the problem. And unfortunately, our law said that we should clear people off the streets who have mental problems too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And compound the problem in the mental hospitals when they are going to go cash and carry.
But the point is, with what money are we even going to clear these people off the streets in the first place?
Except that last point, Daniel, the thing that's really sad is that mental health is very easily managed if it is well managed. Medication, therapy, you find that people can live full lives, when they have it under control. So
yeah, said a psychological health and wellness coach speaking there. All right, Raymond, tell us about those soldiers who have been arrested. So
in the Ashanti region, the police command there have arrested 3 soldiers. Okay, there are 3 others too, including surprisingly a journalist in this case. They were, how Robin Hood operates, right? These people acted on their own, went to a mining firm, an illegal mining firm, and proceeded to arrest the people. Now, they virtually kidnapped them because they had no authority to arrest them, kept them 2 days, and all that they did with them is to demand money from them. Some in dollars, some 20,000 cedis, $10,000, and also 10 pounds of gold is what they took from the people. And they still asked their family members to come and pay more. So when the regional command, in fact, the military people got to know of it first, and they actually asked that the military reported to the police. Police then went to arrest these people. 3 military officers, a police officer who is not on duty, and a journalist is part of the people, and an individual who is also the informant in this particular case. All the 6 are being prepared and being investigated to be put before court anytime soon. What this signals, if you check, just last week we were speaking about the 3 military officers also abusing their Galamsey protection rights and also
the 3 members of Operation Vanguard.
Very good, extorting money from people, which they say is being investigated. It looks to me like since the military police started wonderful operations, the military is learning some of the tactics of the police that we've known them for so long. It is pretty clear that
learning from which tactics of which police.
If you give me time,
Raymond,
I can take you through man by man.
We don't have time to go through man by man
the
analysis.
Police has been consistent in some of these things. Now the military is learning from them. If you are not fighting the police, they are actually
if you can't beat
join
us.
They are joining
but
them.
in this case, they have been beating them. I mean,
but
they have beaten them on one occasion also.
Security consequences. Interestingly, they did on June 3rd. The same June 3rd in 1982, a military team, which were 4 of them, invaded a church in Kumasi, and actually, because they asked the church members to go and do community work, and people refused to do the community work, they killed the head of the church, burnt him alive. Some church members who were running off were chased wherever they were going.
Terrible.
Some of them were killed. So, I mean, there's history to military brutality in this country. We would expect that they will not go in that particular line anyway.
Okay, anymore, let's talk about the BEC
The
now.
BEC. So my heart breaks when I talk about this story. About 100 final year students at the Prince of Peace Junior High School in the northern region couldn't sit the BEC yesterday because apparently the proprietor of the school, who collected an average of 500 CDs from each of these students, did not register them for the BEC. We talked about this story yesterday on Joy News. But this is where it is. We're hoping that somehow it'll be rectified and they'll be allowed to sit very soon, or perhaps join the batch of those who will resit. But that's what's happening with the BEC.
I was listening to one of these students yesterday during Joy News today when I was presenting on Joy News on TV, and you could see the frustration. The first thing that struck me was that he speaks very well. This BEC candidate, he speaks very well. He sounded so frustrated.
Yeah, because it's months of preparation, isn't it? And then you get to the point, and then it's.
I can identify. My exam was cancelled. BEC, I had to rewrite it. So I identified
it was because some people, the entire nation's exam were cancelled because some people were being unscrupulous.
As opposed to because they paid money and the guy didn't register.
Anyway,
it's heartbreaking.
Very heartbreaking. Online News Review is brought to you by Zenith Bank, in your best interest, Goyle Good Energy, and Selma Courts, managed by Western World Properties. Live your true comfort. Now, Ghana's #1 indigenous oil marketing company, Goyle, gives you innovation that takes you further. The new Goyle Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes. These expertly crafted lubricants work excellently with all modern petrol and diesel engines, provide superior cleaning and protection, reduce fuel consumption, prolong oil change intervals, and enhanced engine performance. New Goyle Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes. Engineering innovation for your vehicle has arrived and is available at all over 330 Goyle filling stations. Goyle, good energy. Now, buy your MTN Ghana shares at Zenith Bank and become a proud shareholder of the leading provider of mobile telecommunication services in Ghana. Share prices are going for just 75 Ghana per share. Purchase a minimum of 10 shares and multiples of 10 thereafter with this amazing offer. Visit any Zenith Bank branch nationwide with a valid national ID. Very soon it will be a national ID card for a hassle-free purchase of MTN Ghana shares today. For further information, talk to us 24 hours a day via 0302 680-884 0542 000111 or on ZChat, our live chat service at www.zenithbank.com.gh. Alternatively, contact us on Facebook and Instagram. Zenith Bank, in your best interest. Now, when your landlord says your rent is due and you don't have any money, don't worry, be happy. Run to Selma Court, located at Katamanso, and move into your own dream house today. Are you a regular salaried worker or business executive whose income can be verified? Then run to Selma Court today and sign the offer letter, and our finance partners will pay for you with no deposit and no hidden charges. Remember, terms and conditions apply. The offer is valid up to 30th June 2018. You can also build your own dream house on our Selma Springs premium plot at Tema Community 25 and Pram Pram Beach. Selma Court is managed by Western World Properties Limited. You may contact us on 0545 558 988 or 0545 559 928 or visit our website on www.selmacourt.com or email us at info@selmacourt.com. Selma Court, live your true comfort. MyJoyOnline.com says passenger endures 8 hours of police torture as officers extort 500 Ghana cedis through mobile money.
I was going to
The
give you this
unfortunate
example
story
for the
of
records.
Behestine Kroma.
Oh.
He was suspected of carrying Indian hemp. Kelny GVG NCA block over 3,000 SIM-box numbers in 4 months. And the BBC.com says Tunisia migrant shipwreck death toll reaches 112. You're still listening to the Super Morning Show. Enjoy 99.7 FM. Let's go for the BBC News after this.